Fifth wheel or travel trailer, which one will elevate your adventures? Let's find out. Hey everybody, this is Uncle Bernie, and here's a question we get asked a lot. Should I get a travel trailer or a fifth wheel? You know we prefer to tow rather than drive, so what are the benefits of each type and which one's going to work best for me? Well, lucky for me, I have Keith Marshall, Master Certified RV Technician, with me today, and he's going to help us better understand the pros and cons of fifth wheels versus travel trailers. Thanks for joining us today, Keith.
It's my pleasure, Bernie. This is an important subject to discuss. Let's start with the differences in the way they're towed. For instance, a travel trailer is towed with a weight distribution hitch. It's attached to the frame of the tow vehicle underneath the rear bumper of the tow vehicle. Sometimes a travel trailer is referred to as a bumper pull. So it can be tricky to align that camper's coupler with the ball mount of your weight distribution hitch unless you have someone to help you with it or you have a backup camera to use.
A fifth wheel, on the other hand, overhangs the bed of the truck, and there sits the fifth wheel hitch. And you basically can back right up using your rear view mirror, looking out your back window, and you can align that hitch right with the pin box, no problem. And rarely do you need any help with this type of hitch, but there's nothing wrong with having an extra set of eyes. So Keith, is there a difference on how one feels over the other when towing or turning or backing up?
Well, yeah, there are some subtle differences, and basically it's about where the pivot point is when you're towing the trailer. A fifth wheel hitch is designed to pivot right above the rear axle of the tow vehicle or even slightly in front of it. But that limits the amount of pivot that a person feels when they're backing it into the campground space, for instance. A lot of customers prefer that. It has less of that jolt when you're going from one side to the other side. Where a travel trailer, the pivot point is actually several feet behind the rear axle. That can make turning and backing a little more sharp, and that feel is obviously different. So some customers prefer one, some customers prefer the other, but the fifth wheel, since it's such a large vehicle, it tends to be anyway, a lot of customers prefer to have this type of setup over the travel trailer.
Well, that makes a lot of sense, but you know, hey, what if you're parking it seasonally? You don't need to tow it because we're going to be able to help coordinate that delivery and setup for you. So let's talk about some of the other important differences.
Are there any financial concerns, Bernie, that a first-time customer might have?
Yeah, you know, to be honest with you, fifth wheels generally cost a little bit more than travel trailers for the same size rig. And there's a reason behind that. You know, part of it is the engineering and the structure. So a fifth wheel, as you can see, has this overhang that hangs over the bed. Well, you have to build that out and you have to really engineer it, and it has to be, you know, welded steel and all of that goes into the design and build. It takes a lot longer and it takes a lot more know-how to do that. But other thing is that usually fifth wheels are a little bit taller, especially in something like this that's a full profile. They're not only taller, but they're wider, so you have a lot more material that you're building, so then in turn they cost a little bit more. Keith, how do people make a decision whether to buy a travel trailer or a fifth wheel?
Well, Bernie, each one has a tremendous amount of great options, but it really all depends on the customer's wants and needs. Who will be camping with them, the tow vehicle itself, and how much they're going to use it during the season, and of course, their budget.
You know, that's right, Keith. We at Campers Inn want to help you find the right RV for your family and make sure that you can afford to not only purchase the RV, but then you can afford to use it after you've done the purchase.
Let's help you make memories that last a lifetime.
Come see us at Campers Inn RV, the RV's trusted resource. Still unsure? Well, drop a comment or stop by one of our many dealerships and we'll help you find the right RV for your family.